Good Monday afternoon. I am William Theo, and this is PTV News Now. And tops on our stories this afternoon, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is making good on his word over heads to roll in the wake of dismissed Mayor Alice Guo's exit out of the country in the third week of July that caught a number of government law enforcement, in particular, completely by surprise today. In a cable news channel interview this morning, Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Boying Remulla admitted his displeasure on the Bureau of Immigration's shoddy work in failing to keep Alice Guo, Cassandra Leong, and Wesley Guo and Sheila Guo in the country sometime on the third week of July when they secretly, surreptitiously slipped out of the country by flying the friendly skies. The alibi Alice, Sheila, Cassie, and Wesley took a 4-day boat ride amid rough seas from Tawi-Tawi to Sabah in their escape on the third week of July has been debunked. All passports of at least the three aforementioned did not bear any immigration stamp marks, giving credence to the theory they were aided in either a private jet or chartered flight out of the country. It turns out that Remulla's admission of his recommendation to Can-Comish Norman Tatancinco this morning was live TV was already a done deal, preempting the resumption of the Senate hearing on Alice Guo's multiple charges, which outgoing Immigration Commission Jess Tatancinco attended together with other law enforcement and government agency chiefs. Tatancinco's forced exit from service is the first among a number to soon follow on reasons of either incompetence to fulfill their sworn duties or a conspiracy to aid and abet Guo et al. Evade the long arm of the law. And meanwhile, the stage is set for the pivotal episode that could help decide the race for the White House in November between former and 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and sitting Vice President Kamala Harris. Neither have met the other or spoken to each other on the phone, but less than 24 hours remain, and they will be a few feet away from each other in Atlanta, Georgia, to make their case on the issues that America voters want to hear and need to know, in particular, the economy, immigration, inflation, reproductive rights, among others. For Vice President Kamala Harris, who remains a mystery to a lot of voters, especially in the heartland, she will have to explain her recent flip-flops on the issues of the southern border, fracking, defunding the police and assure independence, and undecided she is more fit to assume the tasks and duties of the most difficult office and job on the planet. For former President Donald Trump, staying on message on policies on the economy, immigration, and crime is the tough challenge that he faces throughout the debate, and not to succumb to personal attacks and past grievances, especially the myth he continues to insist he was cheated in the last presidential election. In other news, many Ukrainians are keeping their fingers crossed. The U.S. elections in November will usher in the end of the Russian war against Ukraine. Then again, a Harris victory may mean a continued delay in the shipment of arms and weapons needed to thwart stepped-up Russian attacks, while a Trump 2.0 presidently likely translates to an abandonment of all foreign aid to Ukraine and the likely Russian victory, as VOA's Anna Chernikova reports from Ukraine.
In the capital, Kyiv, and elsewhere in Ukraine, people wonder and worry about the outcome of U.S. elections and how it will affect their war-battered homeland. Some residents, like Angelina, express hope.
I have expectations that the future president will support us, our politics, our military actions.
Other residents, like Dmitro, are worried.
I wonder who will win, and in general, what will be the policy towards our country. This is what I'm interested in, and God grant that both of them will support us.
The biggest fear is that the new U.S. administration will end its support and abandon Ukraine in its fight against Russia, says political analyst Mykola Daviduk.
Turning a once democratic country into an autocracy costs millions of deaths, and this is what the country is afraid of.
After 2.5 years of war, a key factor affecting morale in Ukraine is the uncertainty of what is to come under a new White House administration. Trump promises to end the war quickly, and many fear that means Ukraine would be forced to make too many concessions if he returns to office. At the same time, Ukrainians remember that Trump as president approved the sale of Javelin anti-tank systems that helped Ukraine fight Russia at the start of the full-scale invasion. The Obama-Biden administration had rejected Ukraine's request for those weapons in 2014, when Russia invaded Crimea and took over much of eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region. But feelings among Ukrainians are mixed, with some like Svetlana fearing a Trump victory.
Trump is such a strange man, and he has quite strange thoughts.
And others, like Ivan, find reassurance based on past experience.
Trump was already president. His methods are known, and there's nothing to be afraid of, I think.
The U.S. under the Biden administration has been generous with Ukraine, spending $175 billion to support it since the start of the full-scale invasion. But there is frustration among Ukraine's leaders who say the aid has been slow to arrive.
The Russian army is now trying to take advantage of a situation when we are waiting for supplies from our partners, especially from the United States of America, and that is exactly why the speed of deliveries means stabilizing the front.
Analysts say if elected, Kamala Harris' policies would likely be like Biden's, and the prospect of continuity is reassuring to some. But it makes others nervous that the war could drag on. A poll by the Razumkov Center in Kyiv finds 44% of Ukrainians surveyed think Ukraine and Russia should start peace negotiations soon, but most responders see Putin's conditions as unacceptable. With fatigue building among Ukraine's top supporters in Europe, many here see the U.S. elections as more of a lifeline than ever, albeit one that is not entirely certain. Anna Chernikova, VOA News, Kyiv.
And we've come to the end of this afternoon's show. Join me again later on for the evening edition of News Breaks. William Theo urging all of you to stay connected by keeping it here for news you can rely on. And thank you for watching PTV News Now.